and over again. We see it with Tom Girardi and Jen Shah. The outsized level of arrogance is different. The I'm right, everyone else is wrong. And a lot of people are like, how do you sleep at night doing this? It's like, because they don't think they're wrong. They don't think they're wrong. That's how they sleep at night. Everyone else is wrong and they're right. And that's not uncommon in fraud cases.
I would agree. And then whether you trick your mind to think that or not is another story. But I think you truly don't think you're wrong. And then I also think when there's $9 million, $13 million, 17 million, when it starts adding up, you really just lose and you're like, well, I'm really like, you trick your mind and you're like, I can't even think about that because I can't. It's like a combination of everything.
It'll be interesting to see because I think they will end up filming. She's going to be sentenced in November. So I think we're going to see more from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City running up to this. And I imagine ratings will be good because people are like, look, now we know she pled guilty. Let's see what she said in the time running up to that guilty plea. I'm going to be tuning in to find out. How did Meredith Marks end up being in New York with her on the eve of trial? Like, what went down over this season that those two have gone from who's calling who a fraud, love you, to her being there in New York getting ready for this trial to happen? What went down this season?
Right. Everyone wants to know. And I imagine Bravo, I don't know if they have to. I mean, it's in your contract. You have to show up to film. And I'm sure they're like, okay, scene. Okay, Jen, we're going to Meredith's house and Lisa's going to be there and Everett. So we're going to have a scene now where you sit down and, I'm sure the girls are like, wait, what? I mean, it's going to be a blockbuster.
And I'm sure it will be right towards the end. I mean, I wonder if they'll tease it again, where you're going to see the opening scenes for Salt Lake City being the women finding the news that she's pled guilty. And then they're going to be like 2 months earlier, the same way they did with the arrest. I imagine that's how this season will go.
I didn't even think of that, but I imagine it's going to be exactly that. Yes.
It needs to be Bravo. It needs to be. Start with the women finding out that she's pled guilty and then wind it back from there, because that's where you end the season. You end the season on the guilty plea. And if they pick up a next season to go through her sentencing and the fallout from there, then you do that. Because look, federal white collar crimes are different. And even when she's sentenced, there is still a very real possibility that she will have a month or two or more before she has to turn herself in. They schedule you for when you're going to go to prison, the same way we saw with the Giudices. So there's still a potential that she'll be able to film. And then from the prosecutor's perspective, it's like, well, if that money's going to this restitution, let her finish the season and then turn herself in, because at some point this money's got to get paid. And she's not a flight risk if she's filming with Bravo.
And could Bravo get involved and say, because you get paid your bonus when you go to the reunion, you get paid. Could they say just let her get through the reunion? She has to be at the reunion. Could Bravo or her or someone now deal with the sentencing and when you go to prison, not the sentence, but when you go
I don't know I think she and her lawyers can ask. I don't know if the judge would be inclined, but I imagine that they're able to set up her to be on a Zoom call and Zoom. Can you imagine her Zooming into the reunion from federal prison? I think that's much more compelling. Put her on a screen.
Honey, that would be the highest rated reunion in the history of, but Teresa never Zoomed in or they didn't film her. I mean, she can't still be on this show for season 4, right? When she's in prison.
I can't imagine that she would be, or that that's something she would even want to do, because then again, you've got to look at, does Jen want to be on camera? No makeup, at some point, I don't know how long she'll be sentenced for, but it is going to be upwards of 5 years, possibly upwards of 7 to 10 years. You're not getting Botox. You're not getting filler. You're not getting facials. You're not having, a glam squad, no hair extensions, no hair dye generally. So do you want to be on film while you're going through that? I would imagine the answer is probably no.
Honey, I don't know. I might have to. Yes, with a lot of people. I don't know about Jen Shah. I think she would be on camera.
You think she's ready for it?
I think she's ready for it. We'll either have a tan jumpsuit or orange. Yeah, I didn't even think about the no hair dye or any of that or the Botox, but you don't get Botox in prison, guys.
Yeah, and this is the thing. The Jen Shah that goes in is going to be a different person than the Jen Shah that comes out. And I'm sure that she will write a book and be doing all of that in prison. I'm sure she will be doing yoga, just like Teresa was. She's going to have to find a way to keep her mind occupied and pass her time. And I'm sure she will come out more passionate about social justice and prison reform. I imagine Jen's going to learn a lot from the other women in custody with her.
You think there's a soul in there? And I'm not being shady, but you think there's a soul in there where she could be reformed?
I mean, I think she's going to learn a lot. She's not going in for, a few months and then coming out. This is going to be her life for a number of years. I think she's going to be changed by that experience. And hopefully it changes the trajectory of her life. But prison, for most, it's not supposed to be the end. It's supposed to punish what you're doing and allow you to rehabilitate and move on. Do I think Jen will ever see that she was in the wrong? No. I think she's going to come out saying, look, there's these other people for white collar crimes too. This is ridiculous. What's the government even doing? But I think we'll see an interesting side of her, if anybody even wants to see that when she comes out. And that's got to be a fear of hers, right?
I mean, yes, listen, we talk about it all the time. I mean, I hate to break it to all like the 20 somethings that are listening, which recently I found out there are a lot, which shocks me.
Hi.
Right. Like
fellow children.
That's Emily. That is exactly what I said. I had an episode. I don't know how I said no one listens in their 20s. And I did a call out. I've never received so many DMs in my life. Hey, I'm 24. Unless I'm like, oh my God. Like
I know I made a joke. I made a joke about my audience and all of us being kind of like around the same age, me in my mid 40s. And so I kind of went from like mid 30s to like mid 50s. I'm like, all of us, we understand. We've all seen Top Gun 1 and 2. And I got a lot of people reaching out being like, girl, no, I was born after you graduated from law school. And I'm like, wait, what? No. And so, yeah, I'm always surprised by the younger folks in my audience that are like, no, I haven't seen Clueless yet. I'm like, wait, what?
I get it, because I don't even know how it came up. And then I was like, what 22-year-old is watching Housewives? Come on, no one's. It's right, 30 something to like 50 something, and I have some in the 60s. But then no, all these people, and I was like, the next episode is like, I gotta shower. I gotta try now. Like I didn't realize like there's actually like our youth, like, right. Like, hey, like we're cool, man. Like I had no idea. I thought, all my 40 something year old ladies are supporting me. No, we got 20 somethings here.
Yep. All your 40-year-old ladies. I'm right here.
With the purple hair. No, but I say all the time, like Housewives is not, sorry, 20 somethings where you haven't had like a major loss in your life. Like the real world is gone. Like Housewives will not be on forever. So I mean, I don't know. Is Salt Lake City Housewives going to be on when Jen Shah gets out of prison? I would bet to say no, but
I would bet to say no too. And it's just the